What's up, party people? So, welcome. I wanted to do something special this year, something I haven't ever really done. I want to do a lesson. It's going to be a long one, and I'll try to keep it concise, but I also don't want to rush. We're talking about the Etude, also Waltzes. The first thing we're going to talk about is a practice approach for that. So, and this practice approach is also valuable because you can use it everywhere else in your practice. This isn't just like, oh, we have a different approach for every song or every assignment. The goal with my students is that we have a general, really deep practice approach that we can use on many, many things, if not everything, right? And it's loop-based, all right, repetition-based, especially in the independence department, which is the department we're talking about today. So let's talk about this. The first thing you need to do, maybe this is no problem for you if you're new, keeping that going and doing anything. So let me show you some things that you should do. Practice at a tempo that works for you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. If that's still too fast, go slower, okay? Just don't waste time. Going too fast too soon just wastes everybody's time. Remember that. I'll play at 160 today. Here we go. 1. We're going to go in 4-bar or 8-bar loops. We're not going to do the 12-bar form that's written on the page, okay? This is just having fun. I got to practice, 4 or 5 hours a day, especially my college majors. If you're not doing that, wake up, okay? Ostinato with the written melody, okay? Pay attention to my motion on the right. Notice my upstroke. It's from here. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2. 1. It's like a Nike swoosh. 2 and 3 and 1, 2. It's not 2 and 3 and 1. Reattack, rearticulate. Okay, so make sure that those things are clear to you. And you have permission to move. This is not battery. Okay, so once you get that, which I'm sure all of you are working on, what else can you do to build your mobility, your dexterity, your independence? Ostinato. How about quarter notes? 2. Here's a loop. 3. Go. Let's try a new rhythm. 1 and 1, 2, go 2. 1 and oh, it's different. All right, so let's do the first one. 1, 2. 1 and 1. 1 and 1. 1 and 1, 2, 3, 1. Hear those melodies? Ah, right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so dynamics. Hopefully you felt that power in that direction there. As a drummer, our number one job is to give direction, well, arguably number one job, right? Let me hear about it, teachers. Hit me up in the comments. You got to give direction in these moments when you're improvising and you have an open solo. It can't be just pretty vanilla. That's okay. It's getting better, but the volume is vanilla. Same thing with some direction. Now we're practicing at a loud volume. Cool. Hopefully you hear some phrases in there. All right, so a couple of other things that I do in my performance that Max is known for. Let's look at measure 38. You've got those dotted quarters, and they fall on 1 and 2 and 3 and. So 1 and the end of 2. And they sound like this. Go 2, 3, 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. So Max will play the 4/3 feel there. And he'll also swing it. 3. So one drum. So straight to swing there. I'll swing. Straight. Woo! It's a trip. Split. 2, 3, 1, 2. More volume, more volume. How about this? Okay, so explore that. Another thing Max is known for is his melodic ability on the drums. One of the pioneers of this. You might hear. Oh, and by the way, the underscoring rhythm there is measure 38 and measure 39. We just talked about that. Okay, so he's playing that or those are singles. Here's some paradiddles. That was a paradiddle to singles. Okay, and I like the singles because I can go to the toms and play the melody easier. Both are allowed, neither are wrong. Play well. So, another thing, speaking of dynamic direction, I think I might take one of them. I did a crescendo through the floor tom. So this would be like measure 9, 10, 11, and 12. 1, 2, 3, go, 2. You hear that? Yeah, so it took us in there, you know, and that is very, very Max. Okay. All right, moving on. A, pretty stock, play these figures. In the left hand, play lightly. The biggest thing you can do is think about the decrescendo. Measure 23. Okay, so play those figures. I'll play it one time for you. 1, 2, A. Not too loud. 1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, and I broke the cymbal pattern a little bit. Try to keep it the same. If you don't, make it crystal clear and super swinging. Hopefully when I broke my time pattern, my skip beat, you didn't feel any sort of jarring effect with the time. That was still there, okay? Now, if this goes away and your skip beat goes away, you got a problem, okay? So that's a good identifier when students often ask me. So you don't have to play perfect time forever, like, nah. If it starts to get a little funky, it's your ability level you need to go back to the shed. All right, so letter B. So we got some figures. I'm going to play letter B. 1, 2, go 2. 2, 3. 2, 3. I stopped at the downbeat, 38. Rewind that a few times, check that out. Okay, so let's talk about the handoff into B. Measure 23 and 24, decrescendoing. Okay, your hands are going to be on the ride cymbal. I would encourage you to explore not playing a cymbal on the downbeat of B. It's piano. You've got a short staccato sound that you can really make beautiful if there's no overhanging cymbals and longer sounds. So I'll play into B. Here's 2 before B. 2, 3, go 2. Right? Maybe not that accent. Same thing. 2, 3, go 2, 3. And then you're on in forte. measure 29. Okay, let's talk about that figure at B. It's a 2D figure altogether, every one, okay? So make sure you play 1 and 3, 1. As well, make sure that you do not ignore the staccato and tenuto markings, okay? I'm playing 1 I'm using the tenuto marking to open my hi-hat. That's my interpretation. If you hate it, let me know. So the next big thing is I play that same figure at 25. I put it at 27. So that makes 25A, 26B, 27A, and 28B. A, B, A, B. 2, 3, go, 2, 3. Right? 26 I'm doing. And 28 I'm doing. Okay? We didn't explore that riff. Let's go back to that real quick. So this is a tricky one in this meter. Okay? If we go to 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The sticking is pa-da-da-pa, pa-da-da-pa. Make sure your upstroke is real natural there, okay? Okay, for playing this in 3, you're going to play 1, 2, 3, go. So you can play 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, go, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so practice that. You'll hear me use it. All right, back to B. At letter B, we've discussed that I'm using an ABAB form at the first line. Watch the pianissimo. It's a drum solo, but it's piano, so don't blow it. Okay, flip the light switch. I call the light switch a subito piano effect. That's going to happen at measure 20, 29, so dark in here. At 29, you need to play 1 soft, and beat 2 needs to turn up. But there's a tenuto marking on beat 2 of 29, and a rooftop accent on 3. So an interpretation could be 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You know, coming in from. And notice that I dampen too. My timpani, playing all these years, has also found a place here, because at measure 30, I really want to shine the spotlight on the and of 1 2D figure there, the single flag 8th note. So I would play from 29, 1, 2, 3, go, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See that? 1, 2, 3, dampen and shot. 2, 3. Notice my stick height. Tenuto, and then I rise to the rooftop, okay? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, go, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I tie that over. All right, measure 31, we've got 2 beamed 8th notes, okay, with 2 different markings again, right? 2 different expression markings. So we've got some a tenuto marking and accent, do-da, do-da. So kind of do-da, da, if you can. I probably played the group of 2 8th notes at 31, at 32 again. I repeated it. The best advice I ever got was, whatever you play it again, and then play that again, and develop that, and then play it again and change it, and then change it a little. And all of a sudden, you've got this really cool thing. All right, so what 31 might sound like is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, ready. See that? 1 M, 1 M. I'm focused on the decrescendo there, okay? Let's play the whole line at 29. 1, 2, 3, go. And then you're really sending it, okay? Working on that crescendo. The crescendos you really need to develop here, then the decrescendos. All right, measure 33. I place usually something straight there, and that's kind of like a tip of the hat to the... Okay, I'm kind of like 1. I'm bringing back some straight notes there. 34, I mean... Or... I've been using that already, so I'm using that again, right? Remember, whatever you play it again. Develop it a little bit. All right, so here's measure 33. Just notice that I crash on beat 3 of 35, and then I crash on the and of 3 and 36. Okay, those are very important. If there was like a most important part of that 2D figure over measure 35 and 36, It's getting the long sounds on 3 and the and of 3, respectively, in those measures, okay? And of course, facilitating all the other things. But I'm saying if there's like one key target, if you can put a target on their back. 33. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go, 1. 2, 3. Okay? So that's how that goes. So notice, let's go on to C. If you want to practice C, take the pickup like this, all right, from the measure right before, 36. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2. And notice that I tie over to 2. Tie over to beat 2 there. You can force a 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Hopefully you can hear that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I like tying to 2, and I just don't, it doesn't keep me up at night. So make the decision quickly and move on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 2, 3, And guess who's back, right? So let's develop this. Here is letter C to the end. It'll probably make more sense to just play to the end. We'll break it down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I missed this, but I'm trying to like end tight there. That's things that you may miss in the videos. Yeah, so cool. So letter C. So think about this. The whole tune's like 12 bar phrases, right? You got the intro, it's 24 because it's 12 by 2. Letter A is 12 bars. Letter B is 12 bars. Cool. Letter C is 4 lines. So the question you guys right have is like, well, is it like 16 bars all of a sudden? And I see an outro on the bottom line, okay? And it starts on beat 3, the measure before, at measure 48. Okay, so I'm feeling 12 bar phrases there. You obviously, the first 2 lines of letter C are similar with the dotted quarters. You see those? So that's definitely going to be 8 bars of music together. You crescendo to fortissimo, and then you go 45. So you might be able to feel this like 8 bars and 8 bars, or the 12 and 4. But just think about what makes sense to you. You can't just play this forever and not know what you're really doing, okay? Take your brain there, okay? You'll play your best music. All right, so let's talk about measure 45, because this is the one that's killing everybody. I illustrated or demonstrated this earlier, but I didn't talk about it a lot. Y'all need to play everything on one drum, okay? So 1, 2, 45, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3, 1, and 2, and 3. How about only rights? 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3, 1, and 1, 3. I did leave that 3 out. Alternating 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, 3, 1, and 2, and. Make sure that you have the independence to do those things. You will buy back your brain space so that you can do what you really want to do, okay, which is be awesome and play cool stuff and sound like Max and Philly and Elvin and all the greats. But it starts with that. And then you can voice it, right? That's what I call it, my studio. How would you play that, Phil? Or we're voicing it differently, right? With our limited number of voices. So if we can play slowly at 45, I'm going to take the pickup at 44 because that's where this phrase really begins, okay? Think about that. Measure 44. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. See that? Don't you put your brain and turn it on at measure 45. It's a handoff, okay, which is a lot of this chart, I think, especially with the and of 3 crashes, like at measure 36, right? All right, so here's 45. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, and 3, 1, and 1, 3. And that is a tied note. That quarter note in measure 48 is tied to a dotted half note. That is a long value. So that is an excellent interpretation moment, teaching moment for you guys. I choose a symbol there for sure because that says play like long for 4 beats, the quarter plus the 3, and then you have actually another dotted half. Okay, so think about this stuff, all right? This is, y'all see us teachers play and like, oh man, I just want to chop out. Like, we think about stuff like this. This is really like, it's how long is that sound? What is the composer asking for me or you know, presenting me with? Okay, so let's play letter C out. 1, 2, 3, go 2, 3. That was wrong because I played on 1, and I encourage you take the pickup at 36, all right? You can't practice that crash on 1 and then expect to play from B into C, and then you're going to mess that up. You can go, what's going on? Well, you're practicing 2 different things, right? So here's the pickup. I'll give you 2 before C. 1, 2. Notice how I went, I'm trying to be musical that way. Not impressive. I could care less about how technically difficult that is. It does feel cool to move around because this is my life and this is what makes me tick. But really, at the end, I want you to hear silence. After all those long sounds, bottom line, pick up 1, 2, 3, 1. To me, that's what's written, okay? That's what's written. Is someone going to hate it? Probably, but I don't care. Okay, it's good. All right, I really hope that this lesson was informative and helpful. It's a long one. Watch it more than once. If you don't understand a portion, that's a good moment to rewind and watch it again, figure it out. Leave me a comment, send me a message, hit me up on Instagram at @thedmg, okay? It's the drummer Mike Gomez for anybody new in the house. It is a privilege to be able to share this information with you cats. You guys are the future. All your teachers want to see you win. So get that imposter syndrome and the negativity and I'm not good enough or it stinks. Get that out of sight, out of mind. Just do the work, okay? And let us tell you what you need to do. All right, you need to lean on your teachers. We're your mentors. Big love from San Antonio, Texas. Check out my band, Lucas Jack. That's what I do when I'm not in this room or teaching and hanging out with you guys. lucasjackmusic.com. We're like a signed band that like does rock and stuff, and we go and tour and record all over the country. So I'd love for you to check it out. Maybe you hate it and you don't like it. That's cool. But maybe you'll like it, and it's another avenue for you to see somebody who is committed to doing drums for a living with his life, how I move between the space of jazz, rock, pop, right? How I stay busy, how I put bread on the table, and how, I work to what we all want, right? Which is like retirement, and a beautiful life and time with our family. More in those conversations later. Practice hard. See ya.